At some point last week, I met God while working as an overnight cashier at a grocery store, the Stop and Shop. You can read all about that story here. He goes by Bob if you're not the religious type. Long story short, God/Bob informed me that an interdimensional monster named Azaton has targeted our universe and plans to come here, rip a hole into the physical world, and end all life in the universe. If you think you're confused by that paragraph, please try to understand how confused I feel, because Bob also told me that I have to stop it. That if I gathered the necessary mystical relics, we could use them to protect our world from Azaton the Destroyer. And I haven't been doing it. Frankly, I was partially convinced that I had a mini-stroke or something and imagined the whole thing. I mean, surely a medical emergency is more likely than God/Bob/a giant entity the size of a solar system floating in space reaching out to me at work and telling me that I, a 23-year-old in a dead-end job with no prospects in life, am the sole hope for an otherwise doomed universe. Surely there's no way that's true, and some kind of brain tumor or something is making me see and believe things that aren't real, right? At least that's what I thought until tonight. Tonight I met a group of refugees planning a trip to flee none other than Azaton the Destroyer. If a medical condition inside my broken brain somehow made him up, how did they know about him too? It started around 3 a.m., the store was dead, which usually meant that I was having a pretty good shift. A not dead store at 3 a.m. usually meant something somewhere went critically wrong, like the clown invasion, or another time a group of drag queen werewolves decided they wanted to recruit my coworker Luis into their pack. They looked fabulous while they did it, don't get me wrong. I just wasn't keen on the force people to become lycanthropes against their will part of the deal. If he wants to be a drag queen, who am I to object? Anyway, that tangent got a little weird. Let's get back to the story at hand. It's 3 a.m., the store is dead. Or it was, at least. Until a group of 12 or so people hurried into the front door. These people were dressed head to toe in metallic silver one-piece suits, like an astronaut exosuit, but form-fitting, sleeker. Their faces were exposed, which is how I saw that they all looked anguished, worried. They formed a huddle at the front of the store and exchanged words that I couldn't quite hear. I could tell that they spoke quickly, each of them. Whatever their deal was, it seemed that time was of the essence. After a brief moment of rapid-fire whispers emanating from the crowd, they broke off into 4 smaller groups, trios. From there, the group split off into different directions, and they went down just about every aisle in the entire store, never slowing, never stopping. Surprisingly, each time a trio entered my view, they were holding more and more items cupped in their arms. By the 4th time, each member of this group was holding an inhuman amount of groceries in his 2 arms, cupped in front of him like a bear hug. The only word I could come up with to describe this group of astronauts was weird. This was weird. After they had traced the entire store and gathered a mountain of groceries, mostly comprised of potato chips and sunscreen, they regrouped at the front of the store and one by one dumped their items into carts. Once the last person in the group emptied their arms, they reformed a huddle and began whispering again. I tried harder to listen this time, but each phrase I could hear sounded almost like a word, but not quite. In the end, I got nothing. The group proceeded to part into 3, 6 people on the right, 5 on the left, and 1 man standing in the center. He turned to face me and shuffled towards me with the same urgency they showed the entire time they were here. He stopped 2 feet from me, and for the first time I could truly look at him up close and saw that something was slightly off in his appearance. His skin was pale, not sickly, and not unlike the sort of clientele that often shops at 3 a.m., but it was a shade of pale white that, if I'm being honest, I had never seen in a person's skin before. Albino isn't the right word, especially because his hair was black. It was almost as if his skin was the same color as the whites of my eyes. His hair looked stiff. It wasn't shiny like it had been gelled into place, but still I was certain that if I touched it, it would feel like the hair on a Lego man. His eyes bulged, almost expressionless, but more so like he just didn't know what to do with them. He spoke to me meekly, unsure of himself. "Beba beef," he muttered. "Jerky?" The second half almost sounded like a question, like this was the first time I'd ever spoken those words aloud. "Beef jerky?" I asked to make sure I understand him. He smiled widely and nodded his head quickly. The smile was almost as unnerving as the expressionless stare he carried the rest of the time. "Ah, right this way," I muttered, turning to walk him towards the snack aisle. When we got to the snack aisle, I walked up to the beef jerky section and noticed it was empty. Oh, that might be why they asked me. "My bad," I muttered again. "Let me go find you some." The man softly applauded at my statement and watched as I walked into the back. I found a case of unopened beef jerky and walked a box of it back to the waiting man. His eyes lit up and he clapped his hands excitedly before taking the box from me. "Tha ankuyu," he said, somehow mispronouncing both words. "No problem," I said, just waiting to get the conversation over with. Back at the register, the group of people were ready to buy their items. Normally, scanning 3 shopping carts worth of items would be a hassle to check out, but this late in the night, it more so just gave me something to do. Halfway through the first cart, the man who asked me for beef jerky approached me again. "Much appreciation," he said. Much appreciation, I guessed. "Yeah, no problem. Beef jerky much good," he said. I guess he liked meat sticks. "Many worlds, many universes, no beef jerky," he said in semi-broken English, but at least he mostly landed on words he knew how to pronounce this time. Sure, man. Jerky's great," I shrugged. No, don't understand. Many worlds, many stars. Far, further. Edge of universe, further. Home. No beef jerky. Many universes, all universes, no jerky. Here jerky. Sad jerky go when universe go. I'm not sure I'm following what this guy is telling me. "Other universes?" I asked him. "You've been to other universes." He nodded. "And there wasn't beef jerky in those universes?" This time he shook his head no. "But there is beef jerky here." He nodded again. "And when our universe goes, jerky go too?" He started to nod but spoke up. "Not ours, yours." "Why do you think this universe is going to go?" "Azatan comes, brings end." My heart skipped a beat. Did he just say, "Many universes end with Azatan. No fight, no stop. Run. Bring jerky. Flee. New universe, no jerky." He said it again. "Azatan," I whispered. "How do you know that name?" "Alert system in inter-universe space tell Azatan pick here." "It's real. How could it be real?" The man hurriedly paid for his groceries and the group departed. As they walked out the door, I sprinted to aisle 7, my mind reeling with the pain of trying to recall last week's encounter. "Bob," I hissed, hoping to summon him to talk again. Silence in return. "Bob!" I tried again, louder. Nothing. "Bob, I thought you weren't real. We need to talk. Azatan actually exists. He's actually coming." I fell to my knees in the grocery store aisle, panic gripping my chest. My heart pounded. How could this be real? How is this happening to me? "Bob!" I screamed, pulling open the freezer that once contained our Bob's portal. In an instant, I found myself again floating through space, a weightlessness making my heart flutter. A booming voice echoed seemingly telepathically through my skull. "What, dude?" the voice whined. I was sleeping, sue me. God, a being larger than anything else my mind could even comprehend, was sleeping. "Bob, we need to talk," I said, trying to control the reeling thoughts that plowed through my mind, images of untold death and suffering. "Azatan is real. He's real and he's coming," I screeched, beginning to hyperventilate. "Yeah, no shit he's real. I thought I told you that." I convinced myself that the whole thing was a dream or a hallucination or something. I don't know. I didn't think it actually happened. I didn't think you really existed. "You didn't think I existed? That hurts my feelings, man. That's like, not cool. I saved you from a pretty fucked up situation with those clowns and you didn't even have the decency to believe I existed? That's a dick move," said Bob, seemingly offended at me again. "What is it with this guy? How do I keep managing to hurt his feelings? Why is God so emotionally fragile? You know I can hear your thoughts, right? You humans are so mean. Oh no, I didn't know that. Sorry, Bob. It's okay, he said softly. What are we going to do about Azaton? This guy is coming here and he's going to fuck us all up and kill us. And I just met multiverse travelers and they're fucking dipping out because even they think Azaton is going to kill us all. I don't know what to do. Chillax, bro. We had a whole game plan. We talked about it last time. You were there, don't you remember? Or wait, did you assume that was fake too? Like me? Yeah, I did actually. You're really making me regret choosing you to help save the universe. I've been nothing but nice to you and you're being a huge dick to me. Sorry, I don't. I'll try to be better. Thank you, he said with a sniffle. That's all I want. So, what's the game plan? What are we doing? As I told you, there's a relic, a mystical artifact buried deep in the sub-basements of the store you work at. We need to get it. That's step one. Hold on, sub-basements? We don't even have one basement, let alone multiple. Yeah, you do. Did no one tell you that? Luis? He never said anything? God, I need to get better help. No, no one has ever, in the entire time I've worked here, mentioned a basement. Well, that's what you need to do. There's a panel in the floor of the dairy cooler. Lift it, and it'll reveal a staircase to the basement. From there, you'll enter a maze of darkness, traps, monsters, and madness. But that's like not even a big deal. Luis totally has a map. I gave it to him. You'll be totally chill, dog, as long as you don't go insane or die or starve or get crippled or kill yourself. Think you can manage that? What? Yeah, so just let me know once that's taken care of and we'll move on to step 2, comprendo? And again, I instantly found myself standing in aisle 7. The sun was starting to rise. Seemingly hours had passed since I went to visit Bob. I think Luis and I need to have some words.